Hello! Welcome to another Married at First Sight New Zealand Season 3 recap. It's our very last one, and I promise that's the real deal this time. We finally wrap it all up tonight. Fine little bow. Call it a day. Let's get started. Alright, so last episode we left off. It's final dinner party. It was insane. Jimmy and Ray were stirring the pot, making all kinds of problems. When very last, at the end of the episode, we left off with Jimmy calling Vicky a slut. Okay, so tonight everyone recounts the previous evening. Ray makes more jabs about Jono and says things tonight will depend on how much he drinks because, you know, he's got a reputation to uphold. Jimmy and Carmen laugh about it. Vicky tries to explain to Stefan, you know, she needs him to have her back. And she finds out rather, that Stefan was hanging out earlier with Jimmy and Ray for drinks. This is an obvious red flag. And she tries to explain to him, you know, it's like these guys, you know. She's trying to explain to him that it's not like they have his back. But he doesn't get it. Now he kind of gets a bit angry because he doesn't understand. And then he starts saying stuff like, well, if she doesn't want me to hang out with certain people, etc., but he doesn't understand that's not what she's trying to say. It's like she's trying to make him understand, you know, here are these people who ganged up on her. How is he being supportive by then going to hang out with them? And he didn't seem to understand that. And I'm guessing that's the inexperience. I don't know. But because of that, I mean, poor Stefan, he's probably going to go down this road a few more times with people like Ray and Jimmy who will take advantage of him, make him look like a fool, and try to steer him down, you know, the wrong path. Anyway, all right, so the couples are going to meet with the experts one last time. The atmosphere, of course, it's tense, you know. The experts call up Vicky and Stefan. Stefan recounts their experience. Vicky has her turn and explains her side as Ray and Jimmy sneer on. Expert Stephanie reminds us that Ray and Jimmy, you know, about them trying to split up Vicky and Stefan, and then they play the video evidence. Yay. The experts ask Ray, you know, about the whole thing. He becomes combatant, and he's floating down the river of denial. Denial, denial, denial. Stephanie leads Vicky through the actions of the previous night. She tells us of the aggression of Ray and Jimmy. We see the evidence of Jimmy calling Vicky a slut multiple times. At least the video proof is proving to be very satisfying tonight. Carmen tries to ask why that matters. At that point, my husband, he just goes off about that, and he walks out of the room, and he's grumbling around. Okay. Vicky then tries to explain how uncomfortable she was about Stefan going to hang out with Jimmy. Stephanie sees that Stefan is feeling, you know, pulled in different directions, and they remind them that these other people are just outside of the experiment. You know, at the end of the day, his wife should be most important. I just hope he gets that and he stops letting others into his head. Yeah. Then they send them off with well wishes and hopes for the best. Jimmy and Carmen, they're called up, and now the experts, you know, call out their involvement in the drama. You know, for people who said, you know, they were just going to stay out of it, they got right in it. Carmen then justifies her involvement in the drama, and then she excuses Jimmy's behavior. You know, the experts, they're the ones who say it's like she's excusing his behavior. And then they kind of joke about it. Vicky then asks if Jimmy regrets how he spoke to her that night. We have a commercial break. Now, during this commercial break, I had to hear my husband's rant about inconsiderate people and how he hates their BS, self-entitlement, grumble, grumble, grumble. He was mad about Jimmy's slut comment and Carmen's ambivalence. Really, that's what he was mad about. So, yeah, he doesn't like that. He was not happy chappy. So, Vicky asks again if Jimmy regrets how he spoke. He says, yeah, I guess. Stephanie asks for more than apologizing that you feel that way, because Tony reminds him that really isn't apologizing for his behavior. Then they try to move on. They ask about kids, a few more jokes. I used to be happy for them, but Jimmy took the wind out of my sails for them after seeing his ugly side, and yeah, I don't know. It was a real downer. That just ruined it for me. Of course, they wish them the best, and they're excused. Chris and Rose's story is then rehashed. Stephanie asks, "Why did you stay on when you knew it wasn't working?" Rose says she really wanted to try to make it work, but she felt that he just wanted sex. He defends himself. Rose now knows that she needs that missing spark to make things work. Chris says he thinks they're great friends. Rose says, well, not that great. But Chris says they will keep in touch, and she agrees. And, we wish them both the best. Ray and Jono are now called up, and then my stomach just kind of dips lower than when Carmen and Jimmy were called up. Stephanie asks Jimmy, what he truly feels. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Stephanie asked Jono what he truly feels, and he felt Ray wasn't in this to settle down with a husband, and from the second day that things went down, it's just kind of, they all just kind of went downhill from there. We see the video evidence of more of Ray's a-holeness, and Jono says he felt like he was in an abusive relationship. You can see why. Tony asks about what Ray wanted to say. Ray goes off on one of his tangents and his psycho behavior. Tony asks why Jono is smiling, and he says, well, he has to, because if he acts sensitive, he'll be abused for it. Jono's learned to trust his gut now. He knows he should have cut and run sooner. Stephanie asks the same of Ray. He starts to abuse Jono some more. Stephanie says, let's look into your stirring. Hence the video evidence. So then Stephanie goes back to Ray after the video evidence, and you can see he is visibly uncomfortable because, oh, that's right, you were on film, mate. We got all your nasty behavior on film. So, yeah, good on you. You get to watch it all in action. And I guess you can have your little laughing party or whatever you want to do. Okay. Sorry. Tony then asked then Tony asked Ray if Stefan and Vicky are any of his business. Oh, totally called you on that one, didn't he? They remind Ray that he isn't involved in their relationship, and then Vicky calls him out as well for doing that to her, all that nastiness because she had supported Jono. I mean, really, at the end of the day, he was just bitter, and he was just being an ass. So Ray gets up and he walks back over to the other couch because, he can stir, but he just can't take when the heat comes back on him. Nope. Funny that. You can really stir, but the minute somebody tries to call you on it, you have to go back to your ass hat behavior. All right, finally. We're finally done with that crap. Thank God. Anna and Jordan. Yay, let's end on a happy note. Yay. So we recount their story, all the mess they had to go through, the tape, on how they've worked through it. Jordan says that he himself has worked on his communication and, has improved. He says honest compromising has been huge for them because he's never had that before. We see a video of their final vows, and the tears come, and they enjoy the memories, and Jordan says you couldn't have scripted a better end. Tony then wraps it up, wishes them all well. Stephanie thanks them as well, and asks them to take everything they've learned about love and about themselves, because those are the tools that they are going to need in the future. So, yeah. Ray says then he's found someone since leaving the experiment. Stefan is happy. Vicky says it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but they have their own journey to live now. Jordan says he got his dream result. So there you go. That is it. That is the actual ending of season 3. Thanks to everyone who tuned in each episode rather. And we appreciate your likes and your comments, and we look forward to whatever project we decide to do on next. I got the 15-year-old looking into some stuff for us, so we'll see how that all goes. Till then, thanks everybody, and kia kaha until we meet again. I'm Mama C. Thanks for joining us.